Hey, what is up you guys, you Pixeled here, and welcome back to another speed build video on the channel. So today we are working on a bar for Strangerville, and you guys will see that for the first couple of minutes of this speed build, it actually looks like I'm building a house, and it's because, for the first, I don't know, hour that I worked on this build, it was actually supposed to be a house, but I don't know, I just felt inspired to turn it into a bar, and that's what I did. I just turned it into a bar, and I really like how this bar turned out. It turned out exactly how I imagined it to turn out, because I wanted to build like a rundown but not super rundown kind of bar. And I don't know, I just love how it turned out. Because, building something run down looking isn't new to me in The Sims 4. I've done it multiple times, especially with the werewolf pack. I think I built like 2 or 3 different builds that were supposed to look run down, and I think I did a pretty good job. But I feel like it's a totally different vibe for Strangerville because, it's like the desert, so you're trying to get that deserty rundown look, which is very, very different from industrial rundown look. So this was definitely new to me. And I was really worried because there was a very specific vibe that I was going for because, I've watched a ton of movies and I was trying to kind of recreate that look that I've seen. Like, a couple of months ago, I was rewatching The Hills Have Eyes. The 2006 reboot? Is it 2006? Yeah, I think it's 2006 or 2005. Is it 2004? You know what? It doesn't matter. I was watching The Hills Have Eyes reboot a while ago, and there's this scene where a character is in the middle of a desert and there's like abandoned homes there. And I just really loved that vibe. And that's kind of what I was trying to replicate here, even though it's not super abandoned because obviously it's still a business. Speaking of The Hills Have Eyes, I low-key miss movies like that. I feel like we barely get movies like that anymore. I hope we get another Hills Have Eyes reboot soon. I don't know. I miss early 2000s slashers, I guess, like gory movies, like Wrong Turn, The Hills Have Eyes. I would say Saw, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I've never liked Saw. I've never liked any of the Saw movies. You know what? Except the first one. I really enjoyed the first Saw movie, but the other ones, I felt like the plot got very convoluted. I really didn't enjoy the rest of the Saw movies, but I really did like the first one. And yeah, I don't know. I miss those early 2000s, slasher, gory movies. Like, Wrong Turn. I absolutely love the first Wrong Turn movie, but then after the first one, that whole series went downhill. And I know we recently got a new Wrong Turn movie, like a new reboot, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I did not enjoy that movie. It's not a bad movie, but it's a bad Wrong Turn movie. It didn't feel like Wrong Turn to me. I don't know how this voiceover turned into me ranting about horror movies or slasher movies, but this is a topic I really like talking about. I feel like starting a podcast and just talking about scary movies, horror movies. But yeah, I don't know how we got here. I don't know how we got to this topic. I think it's because I mentioned The Hills Have Eyes. But anyways, yeah, I miss early 2000s horror slasher gory movies. We don't get those anymore. Also, Final Destination. Where the hell is Final Destination? Last I heard, we're getting a reboot, but that's all I heard, and it's just rumors, so who knows. Also, if they ever do make another Final Destination movie, I hope they use practical effects. I really hope they use practical effects because, CGI blood and body parts and all of that, it just looks so bad and fake, and it never ages well. It never ages well. Because if you watch Final Destination 5? Is it Final Destination 5? I'm not sure. The one on the bridge. If you watch that movie now, the CGI did not age well. It did not age well. And I'm talking specifically the body gore did not age well because the bridge collapse actually looks amazing still. But there's a part in the movie where this character gets sliced in half by a metal sheet. That looks terrible. That looks horrible. And then there's this one part where like a metal rod, goes through this guy's eye. That also looks terrible, even though I think I saw a behind the scenes photo and that was practical. So I don't know what made it look bad. I just, I don't know. I miss practical effects in horror movies. I feel like we need to bring that back. And I know that CGI might be a little bit cheaper, right? Would CGI be cheaper? I feel like that would be more expensive. I don't know. I don't know. But the point is, I want more practical effects in horror movies because CGI isn't always the way to go. It's not. Again, I am so sorry if this voiceover is boring you. I did not mean for this voiceover to turn into me just talking about horror movies and, practical effects versus digital effects. Like I just find this topic so freaking interesting and I love talking about horror movies because I love horror movies and I did not mean for this voiceover to turn into that. I did not mean for this voiceover to turn into that at all. I think I might have to start a podcast where I could talk about horror movies because I would absolutely, absolutely love that. And, I would need a co host. I would need a co host because I don't think I would be entertaining enough by myself. So I would need a co host. I don't know. I don't think I'm actually ever going to start a horror movie podcast, but that would be fun. Anyways, before I accidentally spend this entire voiceover just talking about horror movies, let's talk about this build. So, I really, really like how this build turned out. It's exactly what I had in mind. It's a rundown bar in the middle of the desert. I think it looks exactly how I would imagine a rundown bar looking like when it's in the desert. The wood outside is kind of peeling and it's like dry and I really, really like how this turned out, especially the interior. I think I did a pretty good job with the interior. I do edit the lighting inside, so you guys will see that in the screenshots. I really, really wish we could edit lighting from, build mode, but we still don't have that option. We still don't have that option, which I don't know why. Why can't we set color and intensity from build mode? Why do we have to go into live mode? It's so annoying. And I know that they have a bunch of things in The Sims 4 that are far, far more important to fix, but there are a bunch of quality of life improvements that I wish they would do. Obviously, setting color and intensity of lights in build mode would be amazing. I wish they would, add that into the game. I also wish they would let us, go into the game options and make vampires only pop up in the vampire world like they did with werewolves. Because, sometimes I'm recording a Let's Play and a freaking vampire pops up at our house in the middle of the night. And it's so annoying. It is so, so, so annoying. There are a bunch of things that I wish the Sims team would fix, but I understand that they have other issues to fix. I think Die Now is still broken, which I don't understand how that's possible. It's been so many years. Why haven't they fixed that pack? Also, there is this annoying bug sometimes when, you put down terrain paint and then go into manage worlds and then come back to the build, the terrain paint disappears. Why does that happen? Why does that happen? It's so annoying because sometimes you spend a lot of minutes on terrain paint for a house and then it just disappears. Why? Just why? Please answer me that. It's so annoying. There are so many little annoying things in The Sims 4. Oh, and also, there's this back room in the bar that I had no idea what to do with. Initially, I was actually going to turn it into a kitchen, but I decided against that because I thought a kitchen would look weird back here because the room is too small. So I decided against that. And then I was going to make it another playroom, maybe? Like, add some table tennis or whatever back here. But then I decided against that because the room was, too small. So instead I turned it into like a manager's office. So, the owner of this bar could sit back there, talk to employees. I don't know. It's just a little office space for the owner. And you know, part of me feels like this back room is a little bit of a waste of space. I feel like I could have probably used it for something better. But at the same time, I really, really like this back room because I feel like it adds a little bit of realism to the build. You know, the little manager room, because I feel like most businesses obviously have a little room in the back for the manager. So I really, really like how this turned out, especially with the file cabinets and everything. I think it adds a little bit of extra realism to the build, so I really, really like that. Oh, and also, this build does have a bathroom. I can't remember if I edited that out of the video or not, because usually I don't show the bathrooms in the speed builds, because it's so boring to watch. You know, I just put down a sink and a toilet. You guys don't really need to see that. But yeah, back there is a bathroom. And here we are at the screenshots, and you could definitely tell that I edited the lighting a little bit. I wanted it to feel a little bit dark in here, but not super dark, just a little bit dark. And I really, really like the lighting in here. I still wish you could edit that in build mode, but obviously you can't. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this build because I had a lot of fun working on it, so I hope you guys like it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.